We're getting ready to go to bed. We made it to Campbell River today. It's day 2, so tomorrow we're going to get up early, make it through Seymour Narrows at Slack, and then run up Johnstone Strait, which is the second of the 4 gates we got to get to on our way to Alaska.
Hi.
And the dogs. It's really why I'm doing this video, to show you guys some dogs. This is hilarious. I think Nuka got seasick today, but that is one tired of me. He is out like a light. And the other white dog. He is beat too. Now, a lot of people ask how we store our clothes. We put them in the outboards. Works really good.
I don't know where you're sleeping. Which side? Do you want this side or that side?
Yeah. With that, time to go to bed. Right now in Seymour Narrows, it is 6:45 a.m. and Slack is right at 7 this morning. Time to just right. Kind of like being on ice, pushing around and stuff. Really pretty out here. Oh my God, gorgeous. Going about 14 miles an hour. Lemon drop right behind us, and then anytime in another R27 outboard. We met up with them last night over at Campbell River. Show the front.
Huh?
Stabilization and camera probably doesn't show the little movement and stuff. Move around.
Nuka.
We've got probably another mile and a half of this. One of the things I liked on the 4-blade prop that I was interested in was that extra blade gives you more bite in bad seas. Drop the motor all the way down and let it grab, get better control as you go into the seas. At the mouth, coming up here from the south to the Campbell River, there's some good rollers. I'd say some good 3-foot rollers we were going through. White caps and stuff, just before we got here. The closer we got to the Narrows, the better the conditions got. But right out of the south side of Campbell River, you get water over the front of the boat, the windows are fogging up, turn the fans on, they're defrosting. This is really nice, really pretty up here, dude. Once we get the other side of this, then we're going into Johnstone Strait. We've got 85 nautical miles of traveling today. We're going to Port McNeil. I already looked at the weather, and there is no way we're getting from Port McNeil through Cape Caution across Queen Charlotte Inlet. So we're going to be at Port McNeil for the night. It looks like we have a weather window tomorrow. I'm going to double check that later today. But Johnstone Strait is supposed to be like 7 knots of wind today, and we'll be going against the current, which is preferred because that means the current and the wind will be going in the same direction, which should give us a better sea state. And we had a really long day yesterday, so I'd like to get to work the field early today. This way, get caught up on some stuff.
All 3 boats are in the picture right now.
Oh, there they are.
Very good.
Still going through Discovery Passage. Seymour Narrows is back that way. Been solid 2-foot seas, occasional 3-footers. Been tossed around a little bit. It looks like less white caps out front, but I keep saying that. Out front, there's more white caps. Definitely saying this trip, making reservations and stuff, I'm not a fan of it at all. You don't want to have a schedule to have to get somewhere. So the weather's going to say when you got to go. We were up at 5 o'clock this morning. Lines off at 6. They hit the 7 o'clock slack through Seymour. That pretty much dictated when our start time was. It's not bad. I just got this kind of conditions. Drop the trim tabs all the way down. Take the engine, trim it all the way down as well. You want to get the prop in the water. You want the tabs down to give you a little bit of lift. I'm getting right at a mile per gallon. I should be getting 1.2, 1.3 miles per gallon. So a little bit of a seawater condition impacts. Water coming up over the window. But it's not like this all day. Not too bad. Just slow and lumpy. Get wet.
Are you green? Not quite a fan.
Start getting cold. Huh? Start getting cold.
Alright, we're calling it. I think we're through it. Still getting a mile per gallon, but I'm doing 17 knots. It's flattened down. It's not 1 foot chop.
Oh yeah, see. I don't even see it, but not too bad out there.
Now we're coming up on the This is Limestone Island, Chatham Point, Rock Bay. We're going to go up, make a turn over to the north side. That should be all Johnstone Strait going forward. At this speed, we should get the perfect meal right around this time. The bucket will get even flatter. Ironically, I was looking at the wind on the GX-74 antenna, and the stretch of water went through yesterday coming out of the Nemo, Straits of Georgia. It's blowing 18 knots right now, so the weather wasn't good yesterday. Today would not have been a good day to do 18
Well,
knots.
we went through it. It was 13 knots.
13, 15 knots is the most I would have accepted. Anything above 15 and it's there to dock.
And it was bumpy at 13 knots. I can imagine today.
Yeah, at 18 knots, you want to be at the dock. The white caps are almost gone. Look at the horizon. Gorgeous out there. Rocking and rolling.
Oh, you want it open?
Anytime. It's snotty out. Oh my God. So today we went through Seymour Narrows and Johnstone Straits, and we paid attention to the weather report, and it was wrong.
It wasn't even close to right.
It was really wrong.
Really
So this
wrong.
is an episode of what not to do. But if you find yourself here, here's what we did. So we the slack was at Seymour at 7, and we left Campbell River. We were there at Discovery Marina, so we left threw the lines off at 6. We got right to Seymour at slack, and it was bumpy and swirly and stuff, but it wasn't bad. And when we got to the north side of it,
It should have been flatter than it was, Martin, because the wind and the current were going the same direction.
they were, and it wasn't. I would say it's probably 2-foot seas, occasional 3s at least.
Yeah, white
And,
caps everywhere.
Yeah, and it was interesting because the further we went north on Johnstones,
it got really nasty. And when I mean really nasty, I mean 4-foot swells, easily 4-foot swells. I don't think there was any 5s or 6s, but we took so much water over the top of the boat, the bow, everything. The windows were fogging up, and we had both fans going. And yeah,
hopefully you can have a little video of that.
Oh yeah, I got some GoPro 360 stuff on the front of the boat, so that footage ought to be really good. But anyway, our intention was just to beat feet across Johnstone, because if the wind and the current were going up against the current, but the current's going the same direction the wind is, so it should have laid the seas down and made them flat, and we could have done 30 miles an hour across that. That is not what happened today. So from 7 o'clock till about 11, we were getting tossed around. You know, it would clear up a little bit. We'd be in like 1 to 2 foot chop. We could pick up speed, maybe 18, 20 miles an hour, and then come around a corner, and boom, we're back in the slop again, doing 5, 10, getting, burning a mile per gallon of fuel efficiency.
You got that good?
Yeah.
I was down at 0.8.
Right. So anyhow, so as we're going, I mean, there was just water everywhere. Coming down, and I had my dinghy stored in the back, and next thing I know, I smell what smelled like an electrical, something smoldering, and initially it was a little smell, then it got worse and worse, and finally I was like, I got to pull over and stop, and really what I thought was there's water's getting in the boat somewhere, touching something it shouldn't, so I got to get the water to stop raining down on the boat. So we were up here, and we were right across from Port Neville. And back in there's a really protected anchorage.
Yeah.
So we jetted 3 miles. We were 3 miles from it. It was just beat feet across Johnstones to get in there. Dropped anchor. The three of us. It was Anytime, Lemon Drop, and Channel Surfing. Dropped anchor. We were after together, and I tore the whole boat apart trying to find where it's coming from. And the smell, as soon as I opened the port locker, it was coming from the engine battery. Now I couldn't find anything. I didn't see anything smoldering. I didn't have any flashlights, whatever. Everything looked fine. Everything worked. I didn't blow any fuses. But, once the salt water stopped falling from the sky on top of the boat, the smell went away. So we sat there for probably an hour or two, and then we regrouped and said, what do we do different, right? Because we don't want to continue going up Johnstone. So
it's just dead into the wind.
Yeah, it was. So what we did was we looked at the map and we said, about 10 miles north on Johnstone, what's that? Yeah, Port Harvey.
Port Harvey.
Yeah, so we made a right turn into Port Harvey, and I'll draw the map up and stuff put up on here of the course we went, and that was the best thing we did today. I can tell you, because once we got there, and actually once we got back on the Johnstones, it was 1 to 2 foot.
Well, we probably got a good 30 miles of northward travel.
Yeah.
On flat water.
Yeah, and we were 35 miles from Port McNeil at that time, and it was about 45 miles on the detour. It was a longer detour, but man, once we pulled into Port Harvey, that water went flat. LaZina looks at me and she goes, "Where are we at?" And I says, "It's calm. That's where we're at." Oh my God. So then we ran that, snaked that around through a bunch of islands, and stuff, and it was way much more protected water. And it came out up at Johnstone's 10 miles, actually about 15 miles south of Port McNeil. Right. And we're back in 1 to 2 foot slop there, but we were able to do 20 miles an hour across it and get into Port McNeil. Yeah. But yeah, I bet you that wind in Johnstone was a good 20 knots. At least 20 knots. At least 20 knots.
So we looked at a real time. There's a real time point here off of this, just below Port Neville here. Uh-huh. It said it was blowing 26.
26 knots.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
Windy was reporting 7.
Yeah. Yeah, Windy reported 7 knots. Don't trust Windy. We learned that lesson today the hard way. Good news is, though, I mean, we were all safe and sound in the boat.
The boats will take it.
Yeah, there was never a question of we're going to capsize, we're going to sink, we're going to do whatever. It's just a lot of water and a lot up and down and a lot of waterfalls on the top of the boat. So much water coming down.
Here we are.
Here we are. Now we're in Port McNeil. Cheers. After today, we are on our way to go get a beer. Port McNeil.
One getting queries from people.
Very.
Where are you? Well, didn't I see you pull in somewhere? Were you gonna stay there?
Oh, because we stopped and then
Yeah.
we moved again?
Yeah.
Yes, we needed a break from the county.
Yeah, we did.
Bye-bye garbage. There'll be more. Well, it's not gonna be. Never.
Cheers.
He wants to film it. A lot of vodka.
We survived.
It's the best part of the day.
But did we sink? No, we did not sink.